So for our next lesson on the basics of sociology, we're looking at gender socialization. So that's why we did the feminism video previous to this, feminism lesson. So we're looking at the social construction of gender, part one, how we learn to be male and female. I can recall the meaning of the terms gender and social construction. I'll stand them. Socialization, learning the culture. Gender roles, how we expect males and females to behave. The Chambuli, talk about them in a moment, they're a piece of evidence here. Anne Oakley, a very famous sociologist. Canalization and manipulation, two ideas she came up with. Doll, stroke action figure. Textiles, as in the subject of school. Uniform and PE. So we start off by looking at the previous lessons, read the questions, answer them. If you don't know the answer, you know what to do. Okay, let's define gender roles. Gender roles is how we expect males and females, boys and girls to behave in a culture. It's not an instinct. How long your hair is not an instinct. It's cultural. Male short hair, females long hair. Yeah, you might look at this picture here to show a lot of the gender roles we expect from males and females. The way they're dressed is different. The activities they're doing in their leisure time are different. The sort of things we expect from them, the way the behavior we expect from them is different. Male, female is the argument. And all this is learnt, it is not an instinct. Now, how do we prove that? Well, if all of this was an instinct, it would be the same all over the world in all cultures. And we can find plenty of cultures where males and females behave differently. And the example we're going to use is the Chambuli tribe. This is the Chambuli man. Chambuli men wear makeup. Chambuli men don't work. They look after the house. They spend a lot of time decorating themselves. Chambuli women shave their heads and do all the work. They have different, opposite gender roles to us. Yeah? So cultural diversity shows that all this is learned, it is not an instinct. Okay. This is Professor Anne Oakley, a very famous British sociologist, has been for a long time now, 30, 40 years. She's written several books, and one book on motherhood and childhood. And she, in her research, said, look, this is what families do with their young children. It's called canalization, as in a canal forces water to go in a particular direction. And that's how we force males and females down their gender roles. For example, toys. We buy little boys and little girls different types of toys. We're telling them what we expect from them in the future. Toolkit for a boy. Baby stuff, baby doll stuff for a girl. Pink and blue. Active toys versus passive toys. Active toys for boys, passive toys for girls. Birthday cards. Think of every boy's birthday card you ever had, you ever seen. A football, someone riding a bike. Active. Girls' birthday cards. Pretty flowers, that sort of thing. Canalization and manipulation. Oakley says families manipulate, not in a horrible way, not on purpose. They manipulate their little boys and little girls into going down their gender roles. And she uses the example of dolls. Girls get given dolls. Boys get given dolls. If you call them dolls, boys won't play with them. So they call them action figures. They're both dolls, but they're doing very different things. So Anne Oakley, the family, through primary socialization, one of the main ways we socialize males and females into their gender roles. And this is the type of language you must use. You can't just use everyday language when you're describing this. You must use sociology language. Yeah? Education, the school system. Again, gender socialization, different types of uniforms for boys and girls. Boys' trousers, girl skirts. That's one thing. PE lessons. It's obvious why boys and girls have to change in different changing rooms. It's not at all obvious why they have separate PE lessons and do separate sports. And subjects like GCSE textiles. We don't say to boys you can't do this. We don't say to girls you can't do RM. But that's the way it ends up working. We end up pushing males and females in different directions in the school system. So put these together and you've got the first half of our argument about how culture shapes gender roles.